Hi guys, good evening, and welcome back once again to the EdWord. I'm your host Eddie, and in tonight's video I will be discussing what I thought of the latest episode of AMC's The Walking Dead. Whew. Yuck. Before I get into all of that, of course, please be warned, as usual, per most of my Walking Dead videos, this is a spoiler-filled review. Again, if you're not caught up on The Walking Dead by this episode or the past couple episodes, do not keep watching or listening, as I will be discussing major spoilers and plot details from tonight's episode. So once again, spoilers ahead, you have been warned. Spoilers from here on out starting now. Whew, what an episode. Wow, what an episode. I didn't like it as much as I enjoyed last week, but this was still pretty damn good. This was still pretty damn riveting on all the right levels for all the right reasons. I loved the introduction of Beta, being somewhat familiar with the comics and the storyline that's coming. I won't go into too much detail, but there is a lot coming up with this storyline, and Beta, I think, plays a pretty big part. I mean, he is obviously the right-hand man to Alpha, and his introduction where Henry turns his head and there's this giant lumbering over him and just pulls him out with one hand and presents him to Alpha, that was a great introduction. He's a big, tall, scary, menacing guy, and he makes for an excellent villain. I mean, I know he's Alpha's henchman, but I'm going to put him on the same level as her. They are both villains, not a villain henchman. They're both villains. So, welcome to the show, Beta. Glad to have you. I'm scared and I'm a little excited. I'm a little scared, but mostly excited. So I'm glad that he's finally made his big screen debut. Excuse me. And then I also loved how one of the few people who were making sense in Alexandria during this episode was Negan. Not completely, but in a sense, I could tell a lot of the shit that he was saying to Michonne during their conversation was starting to hit her in ways that she didn't want it to hit her, because she knew he was bringing up some good points or some interesting ideas and tidbits, and she didn't want to hear him out because from her point of view, he's still a murderous thug. Now, what I thought was fascinating is that he really never answered her question as to why she came back. Even though she tried insulting him by referring to him as a dog that came back home, he never really answered her question. And I like how Judith so aggressively defended him during her argument with Michonne. And then I love how Judith is this adorable little whippersnapper, but she can also really throw some serious shade, because she had that line where she said, "Well, Negan listens to me," and then kind of gives Michonne that look like, and then you see the look on Michonne's face where she's like, so that was awesome. Great one-on-one character scenes throughout this whole episode. We had some great scenes between Michonne, Judith, Michonne, Negan, Michonne and the Alexandria Council, Michonne and Aaron. Overall, this was a good Michonne episode. And then great scenes between Lydia and Alpha, Alpha and Beta. Oh, man, this whole episode was really quite riveting. We got to see the world of the Saviors. They're not just a pack of wandering savages. They're organized. They've got the numbers and, unfortunately, the resources or materials, if you want to call them that. They're literally like, it was so nasty, but I loved it, where Beta is basically skinning the face off of the dead walker he has tied to a tree in order to make a new Whisperer mask, either for himself or for somebody else. I also love that we got a glimpse as to Alpha's leadership style. Like most leaders, she has little to no patience for bullshit. I thought it was interesting how, as she revealed later in her conversation with Beta, this was the first time in many years that her authority had been directly challenged. So clearly it did not escape the gaze of the Whisperers that, Alpha broke her own rules and did a double standard where it's like, well, we don't go back for those who are lost, except it was her daughter. So clearly that didn't sit well with those two Whisperers, but their problems are now over. And talk about a way to die. I mean, I think Alpha was just demonstrating her own physical strength and power, which she clearly possesses, and then how she's also quite theatrical in how she kills people, which might be foreshadowing, and foreshadowing in the worst way possible, not a good way at all. You know, I also loved that we got to see a little bit more as to the inner conflict and strife between Michonne and the other survivors at Alexandria, specifically the council. I mean, whatever happened to her, it must have been so bad where she just went into full isolationist mode. Screw everybody else. We got to take care of ourselves. You know, forget Hilltop, forget Kingdom, forget Oceanside, Sanctuary. Well, all we got to worry about is Alexandria. And this whole that whole sequence where she's just arguing with Gabriel and Sadiq and Laura, and Aaron was on her side, but I'm just like, what happened to you? I even found myself saying, what happened to you? To Michonne as it was happening. I got to say, this episode did surprise me. I thought the Rosita pregnancy storyline was going to be stretched over the next couple episodes, but they actually kind of, not exactly resolved it, but they did address it fairly quickly and very maturely. Like, obviously, at some point, Rosita, when she came back, revealed to Gabriel she had had a brief fling with Sadiq and she was now pregnant with his child. And then Eugene, trying to repay Gabriel for all the times Gabriel believed in him, Eugene was trying to return the favor, saying, look, I'm trying to look out for you and believe in you and tell you you should not let her go. You're an idiot if you ever let her go, because I'm in love with her too. And it looks like they're going to work out some kind of weird arrangement or relationship between the three of them, Gabriel, Sadiq, and Rosita, because it looks like they're going into their house to discuss the future, with this kid entering the picture. And Eugene actually looks pretty satisfied as he smiled on from a distance, because he's like, well, at least those guys are figuring it out. But a pregnancy drama and problems are going to be the least of their worries if the Whisperers continue to advance, because it seems like they do. They're very interested in Hilltop, and they're probably sure as shit interested in the other communities as well. Love that scene where Daryl wore a Whisperer mask to save Henry and Lydia. I thought that was pretty badass. That was pretty cool. Again, riveting episode. Didn't like as much as the last one, but this was still really, really good. And I am just so incredibly happy that Beta has finally entered the picture. I can't wait to see what they do with him. All right, guys, what did you think of tonight's episode? Did you like it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Were you expecting more, expecting less? What do you think is going to happen in the final couple episodes? I think we have 3 or 4 more episodes left, I believe. Yeah, something like that. What are your thoughts? I want to hear them down in the comments section. You may disagree with one another, of course. We're all entitled to our own opinion. Just please keep it civil and be respectful. Thank you so much for watching. Catch all new episodes of The Walking Dead every Sunday night on AMC. Don't miss it. Things are just starting to heat up. Have a great rest of the night. And of course, until next time, may the Force be with you.